Hey everybody, welcome to SETTA'S Place. Today's video is a what happened was. It is a sit and chat, and I'm gonna tell you what had happened. Now, if you have been with me for a while, and whenever I do it, what had happened was, it means something like really something happened to you again. Because if you haven't been here, it seems like weird stuff, or like really things happen to me quite a bit. And I get on here and I tell y'all over the years. So it seems like whenever I travel, not every single time, but a lot of the time, there's something that always happens. One time I had a 24-hour trip on a train to nowhere. So I got stuck on a train in a snowstorm. Sat on the tracks. Had avalanches. Not really avalanche, but anyway, it was crazy. I had a freak ice storm and a big tree fell on my car back in the past. I've had just all kinds of things. And last year when I traveled, we got stuck, but that thing happened, but the planes and stuff stopped working, or whatever it was last summer, and we got stuck, So, this time, what happened was, I was in Virginia, as you know. I'm back home, as some of you already know from my previous videos. I'm gonna work on this while I'm talking, and some cotton. I'm gonna make something for my bathroom, not the towel, something else. But I'll tell you about this project in another video. Anyway, we were on our way home. I went to visit Kevin, and my son and my husband's daughter was graduating, so he went to her graduation. All that went well. So we were in Virginia for a little while. So we're heading back, and and I've got 15 million suitcases, because I went to the storage unit and got some things out I wanted to bring here. Household stuff that I had in storage and yarn. And so we had, I used every ounce of baggage allowance that they allow you to have on a plane. I used it for both of us. So, but that's another video. I'll show y'all what I brought back. But anyway, so we start the flight, and it's not a bad flight. It's just we go to Atlanta, then Atlanta to San Antonio, and this trip's really not that long, in hours. And so we leave Roanoke. Let me see, everything is fine. It's a small plane, and just not even an hour from Roanoke, Virginia to Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. And we get there. So, and I always get the wheelchair assistance, because I have sciatica and I have costochondritis. So I get a lot of pain in my rib cage from the costochondritis, and I have a lot of sciatica from this part here all the way down the leg. You know how sciatica can happen. But anyway, and I can't do the walking in between with all the things, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I get wheelchair assistance. So that way they help you get to where you got to go. You have to try to figure it out. And, and so now that I have Jeff, he lugs the luggage, and the person can get us to the gates and all that, all that stuff. So, we're fine in Roanoke because it's a small airport. We get on, and we get to Atlanta, and Atlanta is a big airport. So when we got to Atlanta, it was fine. We got to where we, waiting for the stuff to happen, waiting for our flight and all that. Just had it's a few hour layover, a little over an hour, something like that. But anyway, there was a small delay in the time, but it wasn't much. But so we get on the plane, everything's fine. And the blessing part of it is I got upgraded, because I have the thing where they'll automatically upgrade me because of the mileage reward things. You know, I like that. I like to get all the goodies if I can, and if I qualify to be upgraded, they do it automatically if it's available. So I got upgraded. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, so I get the upgrades. So the first flight, I was upgraded to like the comfort thing, the comfort plus or something like that. More leg room, thank goodness. So of course, Jeff came with me. He sat beside me. Anyway, so that was the first flight. So, yeah, to get to Atlanta. So now we get on to Atlanta, and I get upgraded to first class, y'all. Nice big seat, lots of room. So I was up there, and but Jeff, he doesn't have the same rewards that I do. So I just asked him, can my husband come with me? And they didn't have availability in the first class, so they put him in the Comfort Plus, which is like one row behind me, but across, so we can still see each other. Anyway, so I can just do like this, say, hey babe, you know, he's right there and I'm right here. And but anyway, so it's doing good, everything's, you know, going fine. And then I keep seeing flashes out of the window because I'm on the aisle seat. And I thought, you know how the plane lights on the wings, I thought it was just the lights that were flashing. And so I didn't pay attention because I had my ears in because I was watching a movie. And so I look over to Jeff, and he's got his phone out the window recording, so I can see what he's recording. And I see all these flashing and all this I mean, it's like crazy, you know. I'm like, what in the world? To myself, what is that? And I can see there's it's lightning. And I'm like, So then right when I notice that, we hear the pilot come up on the phone. On the voice thing. I don't have words. I'm tired, y'all. Intercom. I think there's another word, but anyway, speaker. And he does the normal thing. We're having some turbulence, and there's some weather ahead, and we were in Texas at this point, and he says over San Antonio there's a storm, and we can see it. I mean, it's like, so I'm gonna show y'all some. Let me add right here. I'm gonna add what Jeff was recording so you can see it while I'm talking. So this is what we saw, and he said that there's a storm, really bad, severe storm, thunderstorms over San Antonio, over the airport, over all of San Antonio. Crazy thunderstorms. And I had never seen, it was so like, wow, I had never seen, of course, a storm from above. You know, when you're at home, you see it, you know, and while you're in your house or whatever. But seeing all this from the clouds and watching it, it was wow. And it's scary, but you know what? I prayed. I was like, Lord, I ask you for protection, you know, all that good stuff. And like, if something happens, and Jeff told me later, did the same thing, you know, in his mind, like, it's in a prayer. And if anything happened, we can't control. We're up in the plane, up in the air. And all we can do is pray, ask the Lord to protect us. And he did. But anyway, y'all see this. I'm like, it was like, wow. And it was worse than this. I didn't get all the more footage, but at first it was just that I could see on that side of the plane where Jeff was, and just a little bit on my side, but all the major was on his side. And so the pilot said, he came on and he said, we're going to circle or whatever right here until we see if it'll clear up. So, and on the back of the plane, you know, on the where the movies usually play, you can see what your plane's doing. And I put that up, and it was doing a figure 8 all in the same spot. So there were storms on this side, and it started getting worse on this side. Excuse me. So we were in this middle, but then it was awful close, if you ask me. So after doing that for a little while, the pilot's like, we get confirmation we cannot go into the San Antonio, so we're going to have to do a divert to Houston airport. So we do that. So he goes and he takes off towards Houston. So then it's only like maybe 30 minutes. Yeah, about 30 minutes. Then we're at the Houston airport. And I don't even know if it's raining yet. I think it started raining. When we got to Houston, I think it was raining, just slightly, a little bit. So we land, and we stay on everybody stays on the plane, because the pilot came on and said there's like 2 other planes that were diverted trying to get into San Antonio, I think, or trying to get out or something. Anyway, there was 2 planes ahead of us who were diverted, and they had to get in there first, so we had to wait our turn. So we're just hanging out on the airplane, and then it was like forever. So then we finally pulled in, and he said, well, we'll sit here to see what they say, how long they could clear up or whatever. So we waited long enough, and we didn't clear up. So they said, let's get you off the plane, and then we'll figure out, when we can get out of here, So everybody's off the plane, and everybody else that's already in there is like bunches of people, because everybody's being diverted, people trying to get to where they got to go, but nobody's going nowhere because of all these storms. So, but the storm, as it's leaving Houston, the storm as it's leaving San Antonio is coming towards us where we are now. So we're in Houston, and then there's a storm. So we can't go nowhere to get to San Antonio, even though the storm's coming this way. It's clearing up over there, but now it's with us. So we still are sitting. So they're waiting, like they give us where we're going to try to leave. And they say that was, you're supposed to get in at midnight in San Antonio. So they say it's 1 o'clock by now when we get to Houston. So they said we're going to try to leave at 3. If it's cleared up and everything's good to go, that didn't happen. So then they said, okay, we're going to try to leave at 4. No, wait a minute, at 5 a.m. And so, and we were thinking we were just going to get right back on the same plane we were on. But at 3 a.m., they said, okay, we had to take everything off the plane by some kind of law. They had to take all the suitcases off of the plane. And I'm like, okay. So I knew what was coming, which I had never had to do this before. And so they're like, when we do decide, what time we're going to be trying to leave, we're going to try to leave at 5. You have to go to the baggage claim, go back all the way out, go to baggage claim, get your bags, go back through security, and then come back up here to wherever gate we're going to be going out of. So I'm like, do you know, to myself, I didn't say it out loud, I wasn't meaning nothing, I wasn't there, but I'm like, do you know how many bags we checked? Because I used every baggage allowance allowed for me and my husband, and we have to go get that and bring it back through, and check it back in. And my sciatica is just my costochondritis is like in big flare up. It started flaring up when I left the airport in Roanoke. Yeah, it had started. And so I was in full blown, I was not going to be able to lift anything because it just hurt so bad. So I'm like, okay. So I said to myself, well, they'll help us, the wheelchair people. There was so much people, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So half the place was empty of workers. They had to get people to come in. They had to get a new flight crew because how they changed. They only do fly for so long or whatever. So there was nobody to help with the wheelchair. So, because, you know, Jeff could just push me, which he did. But the thing is, we have to have a thing to push all that luggage that we have, the cart. So we need more than one, you know, person. So I said, well, okay, I just have to be what it is. So we put things in the wheelchair and on the thing, and I pushed the wheelchair and he pushed the majority of it on the thing. So that's how we ended up doing that. But we had to go back in line. Of course, there's 50 million diverted people, not just our plane, everybody, plus the people who were normally coming just regularly, having a regular flight, all trying to get in line and do our thing. So we get the luggage, we get it back to Delta, re-get it back to Delta, and then we have to go back through security and do all the things over again. Put this up here, put that up there, take off your shoes, and blah, 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 blah. All the stuff in the long line. And so we do that. And we are so tired. It was already tired. So, and then we have to find our way back to whatever gate they told us to, because, you know, I don't think it was the same gate. I can't remember. But it took, you have to go here and up and down and this and go up and take the elevator and it's like just trying to find all the spots. We have to go, hey, how do we get to, you know, we did all that. So we found our way back. So now everybody there is just waiting to see if we're really going to leave at 5 o'clock. Because by the time we got through with everything, it was 4 something. Let me see. I'm trying to think. Because at one point we ended up getting some help. Oh no, that's the next day. Anyway, so it was 4 something by the time we got back through, and all that. And as soon as we get there, we're like, okay, we're going to make it if they're going to start reboarding a flight. So everybody's looking, trying to think if we're ready to go, and they're like, can't go. The ramps have been closed. So because the storm is now in Houston, or also because it was still going on in San Antonio. So we kind of settled in because we kind of knew we weren't going nowhere. So they said we're going to try. First it was 7 a.m., then 9 a.m. Because it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning now. We're going to try 7 a.m. Then they said, okay, we're going to try at 9 a.m. I think it was when they were going to try. So we're, nodding off, trying to get comfortable and doing the thing. I had my I took my knitting with me, so I had yarn and I took some knitting, but I didn't do a lot because I was tired. And so, I think we ended up finally getting on the plane about, was it 10 o'clock, 10 a.m.? Yeah, it was a little after 10 a.m. We get on the plane. And then you would think, hey, we're 30 minutes, we'll be back. So we sat on the plane, and 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 we sat on the plane. And we're like, what's up? And the announcements, well, and see, a lot of people, I guess they found other ways or got a different flight or did something different. So half the plane, not half, actually quite a bit. Oh, no. I gotta tell you this part. As we're getting on that plane to go to Houston, after all that waiting, we're on the plane and a few other people. And then people just start trickling in, just 3 people, then maybe 4 people, then there's a long wait, nobody's coming, then there's maybe 6 people, and then nobody, and then I'm like, what in the world? Because you got to be trying to get people on this plane. What happened was the computer went down and they had to manually, everyone that was behind us had to be put in manually. So every person for the rest of the plane, they had to put it. So that took a long time. So finally, then the door shut, and we're like, okay. And there were a lot of empty spaces. So I guess other people found other ways or decided to stay, or I don't know. Then we're just waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. Nothing's happening. And then the captain says, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to, it'll be a little bit longer. We have to put in sandbags to do equilibrium, the weight of in the plane. So I guess because people aren't, they have to put, yeah. So like, okay, so they have to make it equal. Everybody need to be in the seat they're supposed to be in, and they have to, anyway. So we're like, okay, they know what they're doing. Long. So then, and then, so the flight attendants come, you know, they're looking how you make sure, they make sure everybody's stuff's under their feet, and I mean under the seat and all that, and they're doing this and doing this, and another one come down and she's doing this and doing this, and then a different one would come and she be doing this and doing, like, what they doing? The pilot comes on and says, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be a little bit longer. We are they have to do a head count because they did this manually, and the numbers are not adding up. The number of people that they counted is not matching. So they have to keep counting until they figure out, you know, the announcement. Everyone, please go to your seat. Everyone that, if you have a child that is assigned a seat, put that child in the seat. If it's a lap child, please hold the baby in your lap so it won't be counted, you know. So make sure everything is accounted for. So they come back through and they do some more counting, and they do some more counting. Then, and then finally, okay, we got it. We got that number and we're ready to go. And I'm thinking like there was something else. It seemed like there was something else. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I added another color in. Like I said, I'll tell y'all more about this project in another video. Okay, so, where I left off, counting. Okay, so, but I do feel like there's something else that happened. There was something that made its way even some more. But we eventually took off. And we finally got back to San Antonio. What time was it? I think all I know is I think we got back right here in the apartment around 2 p.m. I think it's what time it was, or 1 p.m. Between 1 and 2, we finally made it home in the afternoon. So that's what happened. Because y'all know there's always something that has to happen, but I just was like, okay, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. And it was. But I just had to tell y'all my traveling adventures, because this channel is about crochet, tea, and crochet and travel. I don't have a lot of the traveling stuff as much as I used to, but that's one of the stories. But I thought I'd start my project and give a little story time, and because I hadn't put a video out for a few days, and so let me give y'all a long one. I haven't gave y'all one this long in a while, and but I do have some more. What happened was that I didn't even get to tell y'all yet about the apartment before I even left to go to Virginia. So keep an eye open for that video. I tell you about that. I have some unboxing, unluggaging. So I'm open up what I brought from my storage to show y'all what's in some of the stuff I brought back. And but yeah, so I guess that is it for story time. Look at that, isn't that cute? Y'all can't see that great, but if you know the video, keep an eye open for when I show you what this is and give you the pattern and all that kind of stuff of what I'm doing. But all right, y'all. So that was my, how long was it? 15-hour, because we were supposed to got to San Antonio at midnight, and I didn't, but the whole ordeal, it was noon the next day before I got home. So that's what, 12 hours from midnight to noon is 12 hours, right? Not counting, you know, the hours before that on the plane and blah, blah, blah. But all the adventure didn't really start until the storms. Wasn't that that was amazing. It was like it's beautiful but scary, seeing all that. And I know there's a lot of storms going on, a lot of things happening in different places, but that was crazy how that storm looked. But anyway, okay, y'all. I will see you all in the next video, and I'll talk to you later. And have a blessed day.